Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, please sit down. Please sit down. In Ghana at the moment, where we have seen the shops of Nigerian traders in Ghana being forcibly closed by state actors, by Ghanaian government officials. And the government has been extremely concerned at these developments. And we have immediately started taking steps to address it. Now, we summoned the Ghanaian High Chargé d'Affaires to discuss this matter, and assured us that the process has been suspended and put on hold, and pending discussions with all the parties concerned, including the Nigerians, so that everybody can be on the same page. But we also want to hear from you, the representatives of Nigerian traders in Ghana, and we also have the intention of recalling for consultations our Chargé d'Affaires in Accra. So thank you for coming at such short notice, and we would like to hear from you first, your perspective and the information that you are getting from your people in Accra, in Ghana, regarding what is happening, so that as we move forward as government, we want to know that we have a comprehensive report and we have the full knowledge of the facts before we act. So if you don't mind, I will hand over the floor to you, give you the floor.
For Foreign Affairs, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs and staff of the Ministry. My name is Jasper Emenike, National President of the Progressive Ambassadors of Nigeria. Your Excellency will recall, prior to this time, and based on the joint efforts we are making with the federal government to ensure, to guarantee the safety and welfare and promote the welfare of our citizens in the diaspora. The Nigerian traders in Ghana are also part and parcel of the unit with which we are protecting, because their interest is of utmost importance to us and their welfare. And with this scenario, with this issue which happened a few years ago, precisely in October 2018, Your Excellency will recall the intervention of federal government, particularly Mr. President, in this regard, leading to reopening of over 400 Nigerian traders shops in Ghana. That was in 2018. For which we even went to thank Mr. President and appreciate Mr. President for that wonderful gesture, fatherly intervention. Surprisingly to us, we are taken aback, sadly, by the resurgence of these, what we call harassment. We are not wrong from the way things are playing out if we also term it xenophobic attacks on our citizens in Ghana. And it is assuming very disturbing dimension, Your Excellency. We are in touch with particularly the Nigerian traders in Ghana, and as we speak now, efforts were also made to ensure that our people do not take law into their hands. And sadly, the whole thing appeared like a political scenario from what is playing out now, because we are aware that this year Ghana is going into presidential election. It was last week, virtually all the shops in Greater Accra had been closed. People were forced out of their shops. People were almost harassed, beaten by security agencies. Some of them who said, no, you can't just treat us as if we are slaves. We have a government. We also have a right because we pay our taxes, we obey the law. We're coming to the GIPC Act, which we know has been an issue for almost 20 years now. And some of them who felt no, things shouldn't go that way were also harassed, forcefully removed from their food from their shops, beaten up by some members of the task force of the government of the host nation of Ghana. Shops in Kumasi, shops in Seko, shops in Tipto Lane, shops in Abosokai. All of these are different units, different operational units in Greater Accra were closed. Efforts were made to also assure our people of the always preparedness of the federal government to intervene on their matters. As at this morning, they have proceeded to Ashanti region. We call it happy news if the assurance received from Ghana as at latest from your kind information, Your Excellency. We think it might be of help if surely that they are putting a hold on it for now at the moment. There is escalating tension now in Ghana. Tension is very, very high now. And we do believe that the GIPC Act, which is the Ghana Investment Promotion Act, which bars non-Ghanaian, according to the local law, from engaging into retail trading, which as at 1994 was pegged at 300,000 United States dollars for such person willing to, go into such trade, to invest such amount in equity or in cash, which was later reviewed to 1 million United States dollars on the 26th of August 2013 through the Act of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. That is where we are now. We are no longer at 300,000 US dollars. We are now at 1 million United States dollars. Whereas, as we know, Ghanaian traders, Ghanaian fishermen, Ghanaian petty traders, Ghanaian hawkers, Ghanaian taxi drivers, Ghanaian citizens are here in Nigeria, in every nook and cranny of our country, living peacefully by the protection, under the protection of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and in keeping with the spirit and letters of the ECOWAS protocol for ECOWAS citizens. Whereas Ghanaian citizens in Nigeria are enjoying unfettered access to our economy, to our unit, to whatever we are doing, without any form of harassment. It is shocking that in Ghana now, Nigerians in Ghana are not given such equal opportunity under the same protocol of ECOWAS, and this is very instructive for our government. I think we should begin to look at what we have to do in that regard. Well, for now, we may have to look at, while we look at the immediate solution, we want to thank the Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs and Mr. President for the good work people are doing. I want to believe that with concerted efforts and more collaboration and more efforts, I want to believe that maybe things will improve. But first, we need to de-escalate the tension. Tension is very high in Ghana. Our citizens are afraid now. We do not want to see a situation whereby somebody will get killed in the process, which will now lead to, more disturbing development. We also need to see beyond what they have told us. We will appreciate more steps taken in this regard to really engage the government, possibly one-on-one in the days ahead, and to see how best this matter will be resolved. We want to sincerely thank you. Of course, it is important to put it on record, Your Excellency, that even our Nigerian traders in Ghana have also shown express appreciation to the efforts of federal government. They are aware of the works of the ministry and what the federal government is doing, and they're equally hopeful that with God's help that there will be solution. They are our citizens, and their interest is also of utmost priority to our government. Thank you, Your Excellency. Before is the National Director, Contact and Mobilization, Progressive and...
I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for this audience you've given us to come and speak on this matter. I think just like the President have stated and said, this issue needs very serious attention, especially where our citizens are being discriminalized there and not given the same opportunities as others. I think one thing I want to raise here is the issue of, while still looking on these solutions that we're about to take on this matter, I think another area we should look at is review of our foreign policy. I think for a long-term solution. So I think if this could be done alongside other issues that will be looked at, I think will go a long way to help our citizens over there, especially in protecting them, as well as helping them to equally have the same rights like others have in the diaspora. So I think after this, I think the next thing is to ask the ministry to kindly do this as soon as possible, so that these issues will be resolved for now and even in the future. Thank you very much.
Already on the verge of inviting, or if you like, summoning, I wouldn't want to say recall, summoning our charge d'affaires there on consultation. Of course, the intention being, as he said, for us to get all the necessary facts. We don't want to, well, she's already, very much in touch with the host authorities out there, as a result of which we got this information about the suspension of the action so far. That we can only verify through our mission in Accra. And like I said, we certainly would invite her to come over for, on consultations. And whatever facts that emerge from such consultations will form the basis of our further, whatever further necessary action. Talking about review of the foreign policy, of our nation's foreign policy, that is an ongoing matter. It's an ongoing process. We certainly intend to, rejig, as it were, our foreign policy in such a manner as to conform to changing times and changing circumstances. That, I think, is a normal thing. It's an exercise. It's a process that will normally, take place ordinarily every 5 years or so. But as it is now, we believe it's something that is long overdue, and it's something that we certainly will be doing, hopefully any time between now and the end of the year. And of course, certainly you'll be invited as stakeholders to also maybe chip in, and let's see how it is that what it is that we can benefit, and how it is that we can together put our heads to ensure that we come up with a policy that will address current and future developments, surrounding her. So you're most welcome once more. We'll keep engaging on the matters. We'll remain in very, very close contact with you. The intention, of course, being to benefit from whatever information that you have and whatever information we have from this side, and to see how it is that we can put our heads together to arrive at some amicable resolution of these matters. We are certainly concerned, whether in diaspora or at home. Our nation's foreign policy actually talks about the Nigerian first. First the Nigerian, because that is the very basis on which our foreign policy is based. So therefore, we are very much interested in what happens to Nigerians outside, and we'll stop at nothing to ensure that we protect and defend their interests to the best of our ability. And Ghana, as you know, being a sister African country, we've had excellent relations with. You rightly said it. There is
election in the air, and sometimes you can understand, the way politicians operate. We also have to, once in a while, be seen to be acting in the interest of our nationals. But again, it shouldn't be to the detriment of the excellent relations that have existed between our countries over time. So we'll try as much as possible as we'll engage with the Ghanaian authorities. We remain engaged, and we, like I said, are inviting Chargé d'Affaires, and I assure you very, very soon we shall come to some amicable resolution, hopefully, on this matter. We certainly will also do it within the ambit of ECOWAS. Don't forget, is the umbrella body under which, we have these ETLS together. We're all members of as members of the Commission, we're all signatories to the ETLS, and therefore we must be seen to be responsible members of the Commission, or of the body, if you like, says that we remain guided by whatever the provisions of those same instruments and protocols that we signed. So definitely Nigeria will never, turn its back on its nationals. We'll do the best we can, and we'll remain engaged on the matter. Is there any other thing you want to? Sure. So, thank you so very much. We want to thank you most. If no objections, we'll continue now to have a brief chat. But I think it's good, we appreciate that the law is not meant for Nigerians alone, or is not targeted at Nigerians alone. You're talking about a law that applies to all non-Ghanaians. I think it's important we make this very clear distinction, so that we don't give the impression that as if the law was made or targeted at Nigerians in particular. No. I think it's important we got to appreciate that. So that when we come to address matters such as this, or the matter of $1 million, we're talking about, globally, whatever affects all of us, members of the region, members of the ECOWAS. I think it's important we get to understand this.
That the Minister of Trade of Ghana says that retail trade is reserved for Ghanaians. This is the case. This is what is in the code, trade code. But the point is that this code has been there for some time, and as the president of the Progressive Ambassadors said, an agreement was reached over a year ago, and in fact this issue started in 2013, and an agreement was reached, which is why they have been operating till today. I went to Ghana as a special envoy of Mr. President. I met with their president. Our own president also met with Mr. President, the president of Ghana, and this matter was now resolved as we understood. But obviously, it has reared its head again, and it seems not to have been resolved. Now, to answer your specific question about the Ghana Code that talks about the retail sector being reserved exclusively for Ghanaians, is that it is in conflict with the ECOWAS protocol provisions, as you yourself mentioned. So this is something that we are going to want looked into at this non-respect of the ECOWAS protocol. What is the point of having an economic community if at the end of the day each country will just make laws and regulations that are in contradiction of that? So I think that is an issue that has to be addressed. On the second question, that this has been a recurring well, you can call it decimal, nightmare, or whatever, but it's been recurring. And what concrete measures are we to take to address it? Now, the first thing we want to do, first steps we want to take is to be sure about all the facts, to have all the facts before we act. So this will entail hearing from the Ghanaian government, the Minister of Trade. Our Minister of Trade is going to engage with his counterpart. We have summoned the Ghanaian High Commissioner, who has given us information. We have the intention of recalling our charge d'affaires in Ghana for consultations, and again to get the facts, because she's on the ground there. And we are also going to get in touch with ECOWAS to also understand clearly, what the ECOWAS perspective on this is. If this law is in contravention of the ECOWAS protocol. So once we have all the facts, then we will consider all our options, with the Ghanaian government. So we don't want to anticipate now what our actions will be, but all the options will be there depending on the facts. Clearly, if it is contravening the ECOWAS protocol, then we would have to now look at an ECOWAS solution, including the ECOWAS court, as a final arbiter. Okay? And then we also have to look at reciprocity. Ghanaians, as the progressive ambassador's president has said, have the full rights of operating within the Nigerian economy, So we'll have to look at that whole issue as well in terms of the concrete measures that can be contemplated. But again, as I said, we want to have all the facts, the laws, what they mean, who they apply to, the ECOWAS provisions, and so forth, okay? And, the question of $1 million to support the Nigerian businesses, that's the question itself is like accepting as a fait accompli what the Ghanaians, what the situation is at the moment. But that's one of the things we have to look into, whether it is correct in the first place to impose that burden, so whether the law itself is in conflict with the ECOWAS provisions. And if it is, then the $1 billion is not legal, as it were. At least does not comply with ECOWAS provision. And then the other thing, of course, is that in the ordinary course of things, the government does not bail out private businesses operating outside Nigeria. We have enough of a challenge bailing out our own businesses here in Nigeria who are suffering from this pandemic before we now start going to bail out private individuals and businesses outside the country. So we just want to assure Nigerians that we are following this very closely. We are going to be proactive and keep you informed as we have this matter addressed. And we want it to be addressed in the shortest time possible. We know that there are elections, upcoming elections in Ghana, but we would certainly hope that, Nigerians will not be pawns in electoral gains and electioneering. Thank you.
Minister, saying that your last word, can we say precisely, because he also mentioned that, do we say that this resurgence could be as a result of the political, can we give a political meaning to that? Is it because of the politics?
No, not quoting me for that. What I am saying is that people are saying, he mentioned, for instance, this fact. So we are saying, as government, that we hope that that is not the case. Thank you.